From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse, sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Monday, December 22nd. We are looking to have a pretty cold start here in the freezing zone, but things will certainly warm up to the milder side as we get further on into the day. So it's going to feel a bit abnormal compared to what we would usually hope for or expect for a white Christmas. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Now, before we get into more of our live broadcast here on Morning Pulse, we're going to give you an update on the question of the day in case you missed it in the 1011 This Morning show. Surprisingly, adults under 30 are almost twice as likely to do this during the holidays compared to seniors. What is it? If you didn't have it, the answer was save the wrapping paper. You can participate some more in our question of the day every morning on 1011 This Morning by watching our newscasts, and you can put in your own answers that could be featured on air by heading over to our Facebook page. Now we'll head over into our headlines this morning and starting off on the national side. Your first story, the United States has seized a second vessel off the coast of Venezuela. CNN reporting the U.S. military carried out the operation in international waters. This is the second known instance of the U.S. intercepting a vessel near Venezuela in the past 2 weeks. The U.S. seized a large oil tanker called the Skipper on December 10th. An official said the oil tanker was facing sanctions because of its ties to Iran. And an official familiar with the matter says the vessel seized Saturday was not under sanctions. The Trump administration's actions comes as it tries to step up the pressure on Venezuela. Second story, and getting into local headlines here, many local organizations took yesterday to pay tribute to and raise awareness for communities in need. From noon to midnight, Justice in Action held a 12-hour vigil to shine light on the Lancaster County Jail's overcrowding issues. The organization is made up of 27 different faith communities, members focused on lifting up those affected by incarceration and advocating for the continuance and expansion of diversion programs that promote rehabilitation. Message organizers say is perfect for this time of year.
If the people who are in jail for nonviolent offenses are given opportunities in the community to get the help that they need, they're less likely to recommit or reoffend. They're more likely to contribute to the community, more likely to contribute with their jobs, more likely to have stable families if they have the help that they need. And all of that impacts our whole community because then there's more stability, more consistency, and more safety.
Now, this comes before the Board of Commissioners takes up a vote on their strategic goals for 2026 tomorrow, one of those being to optimize jail and justice system capacity. According to a county report shown at a November meeting, Lancaster County Jail is operating at about 112% of its capacity. Your third story, and also from over the weekend, Lincoln police arrested a man Friday night after authorities say he pointed a gun at a neighbor. 24-year-old Keenan Woodford Fortner was arrested after LPD was dispatched near South 40th Street and Normal Boulevard. There, they had received a report someone had been confronted by Fortner and pointed a gun at them. The firearm that was used was recovered, and Fortner is now facing charges of 2 terroristic threats and 2 counts of using a firearm to commit a felony. Your fourth story, and up to the Metro, the Omaha Police Department is continuing their investigation after a man's body was found in a dumpster in Millard Saturday. We now know the name of the man, 47-year-old Cord Trout. OPD says police were called to a dumpster near 136th Street and Discovery Drive just before 5 p.m. on Saturday. When emergency crews arrived, they pronounced Trout dead, and OPD says they believe there is no threat to the public and the investigation is ongoing. Your fifth story, the Colfax County Sheriff's Office says they've arrested a man after he assaulted a deputy and rammed his car into a patrol car Saturday evening. Authorities were called to a report of someone trespassing in a garage in Lee. According to the Colfax County Sheriff's Office, deputies found 38-year-old Jeffrey Wegener and had to use a taser on him after the struggle. Wegener was taken to the Platte County Detention Center facing 6 different charges, including assaulting an officer with a motor vehicle. And wrapping things up with your final story on this live edition of Morning Pulse. Last week, Bryan Medical Center performed its first ever robotic-assisted knee replacement surgery at the hospital's West Campus. Dr. Brad Webb, an orthopedic surgeon, performed the surgery on Wednesday using the Velis solution. The patient, a 54-year-old woman from Gretna, was in surgery for about an hour and went home the next day, marking the surgery as a success.
Then we get real-time feedback. So I think that the ability to replicate the best outcome and the most stable knee is easier with the robotic system. And we're collecting data points so we can go back and look. And we're continuing to get more data on this, so we'll have the ability to continue to modify.
There you have it. Dr. Webb says that by the end of his career, he believes all knee replacement surgeries will be robotic, but did say he still has a lot of his career left before that happens. What a fascinating story there. And that's going to be your Morning Pulse News-wise for this Monday morning. And we'll wrap things up with a look at your 7-day forecast before we throw things over to Bill Rentschler.
Hi everyone, meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Severe Weather Center expecting a mild and dry start to your holiday week. Temperatures today going to be unseasonably mild, potentially a good 20 to 25 degrees above average as we start out the holiday week, and generally looking at mild and above average weather heading our way through the week of your Christmas holiday. And unfortunately that means no white Christmas for us this year, as we're going to see a dry and warm Christmas holiday on Thursday. We are seeing signs that we'll see at least some colder temperatures this week, but that likely won't happen until late this weekend. Skycast as we head early into your Monday morning, we could see a few low clouds in southeastern Nebraska, some mid and high level cloudiness across the northern tier of the state, but generally I think we're going to see sunny to mostly sunny skies as we head through the balance of the day on our Monday. Southwest breeze may be a bit blustery at times, 10 to 20 miles an hour, with some occasional winds gusting as high as 30 miles an hour into the afternoon. Into your Monday evening, temperatures will stay mild, and we're generally still looking at mainly clear skies as we head into your Monday evening and Monday night. Into the day on your Tuesday, a weak cold front will back into the area. That will turn winds a little bit more to the east and to the northeast for us. Still expecting to see mostly sunny skies for a lot of us, though, through the day on your Tuesday, though we'll be just a touch cooler across the state, with clouds eventually kind of rolling back in as we head towards Tuesday evening and Tuesday night. Highs today for your Monday, again, staying well above average. We're looking at mid to upper 50s to near 60 degrees for the eastern half of the state. Western Nebraska, we're looking at 60s to even low 70s possible this afternoon, including 70 in Ainsworth, 72 in Thedford, 68 degrees in North Platte. In Grand Island, around 60 degrees, and same here in Lincoln with a high of around 60 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Temperatures remain very mild tonight, with lows only falling down into the lower to middle 30s for most of us. Keep in mind, our average high temperatures this time of year are generally in the mid to upper 30s, so these numbers aren't too far away from where we should be in the afternoon. Tuesday will be a little bit cooler, but still above average. We're going to go upper 40s to upper 50s across the state for the day on your Tuesday, but you can see the extended forecast in Lincoln showing those mild conditions. Christmas Eve, again, a little bit of cloud cover, I think partly to maybe mostly cloudy skies, 57. Christmas Day, again, partly to mostly cloudy skies, high of around 60. Again, the record on Christmas Day is 65 here in Lincoln. I think some of that cloud cover could keep temperatures, again, from reaching those record highs, but regardless, it will be one of the warmest Christmases that we've seen on record here in the capital city and for many areas across the state. Staying mild then past Christmas Day on Friday, mid-50s, and then similar mid-50s on Saturday as well. But then into the day Sunday, we will see colder temperatures return, if only briefly, with highs falling down to the mid-30s. But that is falling down to average for this time of year. You look at the 8 to 14 day outlook, though, this takes us through the last few days of December into the first few days of January. Still seeing signs that much of the lower 48 will see warmer than average conditions again. So we'll see that cool down on Sunday, but it may be brief as we see temperatures rebound quickly in the longer range forecast. But longer range pattern is showing some signs of maybe the pattern changing, as we're also looking at potentially wetter than normal conditions heading our way during that time frame as well, from December 29th through January 4th across much of the middle and sort of western portions of the country. So a lot to watch for, especially in that long range forecast, but at least in the near term through the Christmas holiday. Weather looking like it's going to be very quiet, very pleasant. Again, no major disruptions here or really in the region as well. So if you're going to be traveling, weather looks like it should be pretty comfortable for us. Again, we're not going to have the white Christmas. We should at least have, again, good travel conditions, and it looks like we should have that across the area.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse, sponsored by Murray Roofing. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.